Good to have you here. I know the last few weeks of preparation have not been easy. The syllabus keeps feeling larger, and the current affairs keep piling up faster than you can file them away. That mix of excitement about the exam ahead and quiet pressure about whether you are covering enough. I see it, and it is completely normal. This is the Sociology Desk, issue number 77. Today we are taking one live story, a court case running in Delhi right now, and turning it into an answer that can carry real marks in your sociology optional. Let us get into it. Our story today is the Delhi High Court hearing on a petition asking the court to force age verification for children's social media access. Verification that would run through India's Aadhaar biometric system. In your syllabus, this sits inside Paper 1, Systems of Kinship, under Contemporary Trends, and it also connects to politics and society, specifically theories of power. Now, before you think this is a technology current affairs item, let me correct that immediately. For the examiner, this is not a technology story. It is a governmentality story. And that distinction is exactly what will separate you from every other candidate who writes on this. Let me simplify the core concept for you. Older ideas of power assumed the state punishes the guilty person after an offense. Michel Foucault gave sociology a different account. He said modern power works less by forbidding and punishing, and more by continuously watching, counting, and verifying an entire population, whether or not any individual has done anything wrong. Now apply that to our case. The petition wants to protect children from social media harm, but the mechanism proposed, an Aadhaar-linked age check, would require every single adult user, all 35 crore of them, to verify their age every time they log in. The harm targets children, the mechanism targets everyone. That gap is exactly what governmentality explains, and once you can point to that gap in your answer, you are already ahead. The thinker to anchor this answer on is Michel Foucault, and the exact concept is governmentality, along with its related idea, biopower. Here is a formulation you can reproduce safely in your answer. As Foucault argued in his work Discipline and Punish, modern power works less by forbidding acts than by continuously supervising and normalizing entire populations. Write that sentence into your answer almost exactly. Name Foucault, name the concept of governmentality, and you have already satisfied the examiner's first expectation, which is correct attribution. If you want a second layer for a 20-mark answer, add Partha Chatterjee's idea of political society, which explains how in India specifically, the poor and the young are governed as enumerated populations, counted and identified, rather than addressed as rights-bearing citizens. That is your Indian anchor sitting right next to your Western anchor. Now let me put on my examiner's hat for a moment, because this is the most important part of today's episode. Picture two scripts on my table. The average script, the one that gets around 14 out of 20, opens by explaining what the Delhi High Court petition asks for, spends several lines narrating who filed it and what the earlier Supreme Court order said, and only briefly mentions Foucault's name near the end without really using the concept. That script treats the court case as the topic itself. Now picture the topper's script, the one that gets 18 or 19 out of 20. It opens with a structural claim, something like, this petition is not a child safety question, it is a governmentality question. It names Foucault and the concept of biopower precisely, in the second sentence, not the last one. It uses the court case in exactly one or two lines, only as evidence. 35 crore users, one verification mechanism. Then it brings in a second thinker, Partha Chatterjee, for contrast and depth. And it closes not with a summary, but with a forward-looking line about what this means structurally. For instance, that administrative infrastructure built for one purpose tends to outlive it. The refrain I want you to remember and repeat to yourself every time you sit to write is this. The current event is your evidence. The theory is your destination. Candidates who can sync the news of the day with the correct sociological concept and the correct thinker in the opening lines are the ones who separate themselves from the rest of the field. Everyone else is still describing the news. Here is a probable question for you to practice, stated simply. The Delhi High Court's hearing on mandatory age verification for children's social media access illustrates the state's expanding governmentality over family life. Critically examine this claim using Foucault's concept of biopower. Give yourself 25 minutes, write about 250 words, and try to open with the structural claim before you even mention the court case by name. Let us lock in today's revision points. 1. Whenever a current event involves the state monitoring or verifying a population in the name of protection, your first instinct should be governmentality, not technology policy. 2. Michel Foucault's concept of biopower explains why the mechanism always exceeds the stated target. 3. Partha Chatterjee's idea of political society gives you the Indian-specific layer. Populations govern through enumeration rather than rights. And 4. In your answer, the event gets 1 or 2 lines only as evidence, while the theory carries the rest of the weight. That is a wrap for issue 77. Preparing for this examination is a long and often draining road, and the real secret is not one brilliant day of study. It is showing up again tomorrow, even when today felt heavy. If you found this useful and you want the complete answer block for today's story, along with a second story we did not cover in this video, you are welcome to drop your email in the comments or simply write to us at team@upscdesk.com, and our team will share the subscription details with you. Take care of yourself, keep writing daily, and I will see you in the next episode.